I used to believe our love story was one for the ages. James and Hannah. It had a nice ring to it, didn't it? We met in college, two kids with stars in their eyes, and a shared dream of building a life together. For 10 years, that's exactly what we did. We built a home. Not just with bricks and mortar, but with shared laughter, inside jokes, and whispered promises in the dead of night. I thought our foundation was unshakable, built on a bedrock of love and, most importantly, trust. I trusted her with my heart, my future, my entire world. It turns out my world was a house of cards, and a single gust of wind was about to bring it all tumbling down. It started subtly, as these things often do, a shift in her routine. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Her phone, once left casually on the kitchen counter, was now her constant companion, always screened down. When I'd ask about her day, her answers became vague, clipped. The easy warmth that once filled our conversations was replaced by a sterile politeness. I tried to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. I told myself I was being paranoid. This was Hannah, my Hannah. The woman who held my hand through my father's illness, the one who celebrated my smallest victories like they were her own. There was no room for suspicion in our fortress of love, or so I thought. I remember the day it all unraveled with sickening clarity. It was a Tuesday. I had come home early from work, planning to surprise her with her favorite takeout. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw his car. A sleek, unfamiliar black sedan parked right where my car should be. My heart started hammering against my ribs. I walked up to our front door, the one we'd painted a cheerful yellow together one sunny afternoon. The door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open, and the first thing I heard was laughter. Not just her laughter, but a deep male laugh that wasn't mine. My feet felt like lead as I moved down the hallway. The sounds led me to our living room, and there they were. Hannah, my wife, was wrapped in the arms of another man on our sofa. The sofa where we watched movies, where we planned our future, where I fell asleep with my head in her lap just a few nights ago. They didn't see me at first. They were lost in their own world, a world I had just discovered I was never a part of. The air was sucked from my lungs. It was a surreal out-of-body experience. The room started to spin, the edges of my vision blurring. The takeout bag slipped from my hand, a container of noodles clattering to the floor. That's when they saw me. The laughter died. Hannah's eyes widened in panic, her face draining of all color. The man, a stranger in my home, scrambled to his feet, looking as guilty as a thief caught in the act. I couldn't speak. What was there to say? 1,000 questions swirled in my mind, but none could find their way to my lips. All I could see was the betrayal, stark and ugly, staring back at me from the face of the woman I loved more than life itself. The silence in that room was deafening, broken only by my ragged breathing. In that single, soul-crushing moment, 10 years of love, trust, and shared history evaporated into thin air. I turned and walked out. I didn't run, I didn't yell, I just walked. I got in my car and drove, with no destination in mind. The city lights blurred into streaks of color through my tear-filled eyes. Every memory we ever made was now tainted. Every I love you a potential lie. How long had this been going on? Who was he? Were our friends in on it? The questions were a relentless assault on my already shattered mind. I ended up at a cheap motel, the kind you see in movies. The irony wasn't lost on me. I, the faithful husband, was now the one in a seedy room, while my cheating wife was in our beautiful home. The days that followed were a blur of pain and confusion. I finally confronted her over the phone. I couldn't bear to see her face. The excuses came. The "it didn't mean anything." The "I was confused." The "I still love you." But the words were hollow, meaningless. The trust, the very soul of our relationship, was dead. It couldn't be revived with empty apologies. It was a fatal wound, and she was the one holding the knife. She had not only broken my heart, she had broken my ability to trust. She had made me question everything I thought was real. Rebuilding has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Some days the anger is a roaring fire. Other days, it's a deep, cold sadness that settles in my bones. I'm in therapy now, trying to piece myself back together. Just trying to learn how to trust again, starting with myself. The scar of this betrayal will always be a part of me, a constant reminder of how fragile love can be. It's a reminder that sometimes the person you'd take a bullet for is the one behind the trigger. My story isn't unique, and that's perhaps the most tragic part. So many of us have walked this path of heartbreak. It can make you feel incredibly alone, but you're not. If you're going through something similar, please know that your pain is valid. It's okay to be angry, to be sad, to feel lost. The most important thing is to seek support, whether it's from friends, family, or a professional. Reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. Healing is a long road, but it is possible, one day at a time. Thank you for listening to my story. Please subscribe for more stories about navigating life's toughest challenges.